Here in 2020, it is a tough time to be an educator. It's a tough time to be a person. In that toughness, I think the most important thing I'm doing for myself is making time and space to learn, and specifically to be a student of the things that I teach about and lead, namely digital literacy. Maybe that feels counterintuitive to some degree. Shouldn't I already know about the things that I teach and lead? I certainly know some things, but I think that taking a learner frame of reference makes me a better leader and a better educator. Educators need to continue to experience the messiness and joy of learning, particularly in digital literacy, which continues to evolve. When I forget to be a learner, I tend to get stuck. And in this video, I want to focus on 3 myths I often get the most stuck on and how being a student in the Summer Institute in Digital Literacy and in EDC 534 has helped me to debunk those myths and enrich my work. So, our first myth. I have to have all the answers. Sometimes I get trapped into thinking that this is what a good teacher and a good leader looks like. To be fair, I do love asking questions and seeking answers. I think that's core to digital literacy. But is reaching a single right answer and reaching a place where we have all the answers really the goal of inquiry? No. We want to involve learners in deep, authentic learning experiences where they ask questions that lead to more questions, to further reflection and to action through civic engagement. And we know that there will be twists and turns on that journey, that it may even end up somewhere messy. As I've embraced being a digital literacy learner over the past few months, I've been reminded that that's what I want for myself too. To be curious, to follow ideas not knowing quite where they might lead, to participate as an active citizen, and to know that I'm not always going to get it right. A big piece of my own personal digital inquiry over the last few months has involved learning to more closely examine my whiteness and to be actively anti-racist. I'm trying to bring that sense of curiosity and humility to that work and to remind myself that fear of getting it wrong can't stop me because it's just too important. Throughout the Institute, we talked about issues of equity in education. Dr. Lewis Ellison called us to examine our biases and reconsider what literacies look like within families. Dr. Valenza discussed issues of access to information and resources. I don't think I can fully address these issues in my work if I am not engaging with them deeply and personally on my own learning journey. And that mentality of being a learner helps me to move away from feeling like I should have all the answers already. Which brings us to myth number 2. Things I create need to be complete before I share them. Some heavy perfectionism here. I know the value of being vulnerable and sharing work before it feels fully formed, but my professional self feels like it's possible to perfect something first. But in the last few months, I've seen how much more fun it can be to create to learn rather than creating to try to reach some unattainable perfection. When we created memes and Spark videos during the Summer Institute, I challenged myself to jump in and start creating with the group to see what would work rather than writing down all of our ideas and only creating what felt like the best ones, which might have been more of my inclination. This did allow us to problem solve as we went and to generate a lot of different options. And I did gain confidence in making something, even though it felt really messy, especially with new collaborators in an online space. In other words, it was the process of creation that felt useful to my learning, not the product itself. I've found this to be true in other videos I've created recently, from class projects to a montage of my honeymoon. I enjoy having these videos for sure, but it was the process of creating them that brought me joy and some respite from the stress of a global pandemic. Creating to learn and embracing myself as a learner means bringing playfulness to creation that sometimes frees me up to create things I would have never thought of otherwise. I think I'm moving from a place of learning about to learning to be regarding playfulness, inquiry, and creation. Myth 3. It's all on me. I'm alone in this. I can't or shouldn't ask for help. Yeah. Not only do I need to have all the answers and create perfect things, I need to do it all on my own. That's totally possible. No, it's not possible. Luckily for me, being a DigiURI learner means that you can't be alone. Collaborative inquiry and creation are baked into every day of the whole program. Everyone learns from everyone. I was moved by the simplicity of finding commonalities between people during introductions and found value in diving into a complex collaborative project with a dyad partner. Within this range of connection, I felt part of a learning community. In relation to this sense of connection and community, another theme that stood out to me during the Summer Institute was the centrality of identity and humanness to digital literacy, which speaks directly to my motivations for this work. How can digital literacy help us speak to the heart of our students' needs? How can we foster community and connection online? How do we make space for student stories in the classroom? How can we interrogate the assumptions we make about our students' identities? How can we work towards an equitable culture of love? While I keep exploring those questions, I have to acknowledge my own humanity. I don't have all the answers. I create imperfect things, and I need help because I am a human. And I know that there is power in continuing to ask questions, to create, and to keep learning with others.